So let's come to the president of Koren, Professor Sadiq Zubair Abubakar. I mean, we have listened to some of these, challenges that we are facing. Would you say that we have, let's look at the laws and the regulations actually, governing building construction in Nigeria, and how effective are they in preventing, these building collapse? Are they, do we have enough? Are they effective, or is the implementation still the challenge?
Thank you very much. Again, let me also join the DG in commiserating with the victims of this very unfortunate, avoidable event that that seems to defy a lot of things that we are doing as a nation. I'm very happy to get what the DG mentioned. The whole issue, I think, should centered around enforcement.
Not about the law.
Yeah, the laws are there, I think, reasonably. For Koren and the other regulators within the construction and build environment, we have Cobon, we have Akon, we have Sogon, and then we have the country surveyors. These groups have already sat down and have been interrogating the National Building Code. Reasonably, we believe the policies that will guide a friendly construction and building environment ecosystem is in place. That's policy-wise. Legislative-wise, Korea has been glamoring an amendment in its laws to be able to ensure that as one of the major regulators in the built environment, that we have what it takes to be able to sanction and fight with the, and we are lucky in 2018, the Korean Act that was established in 1972 was amended. And the aspect that I would like to mention to be able to discuss what Professor Samson Duna said is the downstream regulatory aspect of the law is that we now have the provision to make what we call gazettes. And those gazettes are the opportunity that allow us to elaborate on specific issues that, the glamorous act will not be able to specify. Because normally there is what they call subsidiarity of creating law. Okay. And most regulators, not only Korean, have that opportunity. Meaning you can take one aspect and then you elaborate to the point of specificity on who is responsible for what, who does what. So with that addition that we now have what we call whistleblowers that we have already escalated all over the country. Mm-hmm. To be able to be looking at like what the Lagos State branch said, when you see a distressed building, what do? You blow the whistle to the regulators, to the development and control units and what have you, so that we can go and be able to now intervene. And then we have the intelligence and surveillance task force persons now. We have what we are doing with NIBRI. I'm sure in the discussion we get it. There is what we call the investigation panel. Like this building that we are discussing, the recent one in Lagos, immediately after the preliminaries, we are supposed to now commission an investigation group to go and do the formal investigation. NIBRI being the research institute in that respect, on their own, they do that, and they publish report, as you have seen. When you, at the point of investigation, you would branch into two levels. Mm-hmm. Those of our Nigerians who are not qualified, who are not licensed to partake in anything that has to do with construction or building, whatever, they are what we call quacks. The law has given us now the mandate to prosecute them straight to the police. Prosecute them under the the Nations Act, so that because they are impersonating, they are doing the wrong thing. On the second leg, where you have the professionals, the engineers, the architects, the builders, the surveyors, the quantities, and all these are the professionals within the built environment. If you have them, not meeting up the ethical standard, then there's what you call the tribunal. The tribunal that will try them. It's already in place. And the tribunal will try them, and if we find them culpable, then the sanctions are there, very well specified in the gazettes to punish them. Either you withdraw the license, you suspend them, you can, so many options that we have, within the rims. But let me say that the law, as it is, has also missed a fundamental segment. Because from what DG knows and from what all of us have known within the system of the built environment, the culpability, if you put it on a ratio, is about 20% with the professionals in terms of their ethical control and what have you. But about 80%, even above, is with the developers and the clients, the owners of the builders and what have you. And we will discuss this. But under the law, under the legislative, under our mandate, this group are not covered by the radar of enforcement. So,
because I was going to ask, if at the construction site, we're supposed to be the lead person there.
It is within the group. It is within the group, the engineer, the architect, the builder, the quantity surveyor. Often, we look at what we call the manager on site. It could be an engineer, often it could be the architect. These are the issues. But you see, I must admit that there is what we call the Forum for Regulators in the Built Environment. We have not sat down, and that is what I think the DG is saying. We have beginning to sit down and say, look, we must agree to synergize and to have a collaboration and to sanction ourselves. Vis-a-vis the development control staff who approved something and what have you. But what I'm saying at this stage is that the culpability, and this is the takeaway I want you to have, that we have reasonably mechanism to deal with the professionals who are handling about 20% of the culpability. But 80% of the culpability is with the developers, with the client, and they are not covered. They are not covered at all by law.
When your members notice this, why don't they report to the authorities concerned and point out that this is short-changing the building structure that they are supposed to put up?
No. I think the point is we have already packaged areas of amendment. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you have a developer who goes and obtains substandard materials, who goes and hire a quack, who goes and, all these things, like we are saying, who is culpable? The culpability now is on this, and the law does not give us the powers to deal with them. So this is the issue.
Not dealing with them, but calling the attention of government to it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, until we amend, until we do the amendment. That's the point.